Hello everyone and welcome back to the second of the closure videos, and this one now is for the magnet closure. So number one was our raised swivels, opening up, revealing our pocket and a 6x4 photo space. And as I said, all of our pages exactly the same layout. So we're going to flip this over. This is the back. And these are the papers I cut from video one. So if you haven't seen the dimensions or how I cut them to get the pattern repeat going along, head back to video number one where I did this for you because each page is exactly the same. But basically it's a 8¼ inches tall by 6. And then this then gives you 6 inches left over wide. I cut this at 3¾ to go onto our pouch. And then the leftover piece just corner rounded to fit in there. And what you get is the whole scene going across. So if you're using your Stamperia for sake, you've got those images, they'd flow all the way across. And then a 6x4 photo space there. So let's have a look at the back of each page before we go on to our magnets. Let's keep them all the same. And if you haven't seen these before, I did a video a while back, my top 5 die sets from Cool Katz for memory book making. And these became number one. Thdie are your standard photo sized photo slots. So they're set 2, it's called. And you get a 5x7 and a 6x4 and a 3x4, a 4x4. And you get a die which cuts 4 quarter slots into your paper. So I'll place that there. And you get a mat and layer for your 5x7. So just slightly bigger because we've got that nice detail around the edge, which cuts a photo mat with your stitch detail for showing up. There we go. So if I send this through, you'll think, well, it hasn't done anything. But what it has done is cut some tuck spots which will fit your photos perfectly. So if you're one who likes to change your photos, or you don't want to stick them in, or you want to see the papers underneath, these are perfect. So I keep my black photo mat in so I can see where to avoid putting glue. And also it'll train your paper, because if I just glued it flat, you wouldn't be able to slide your photos in. So this will train your paper to be raised where those photo slots are. And if you remember, I have already corner rounded the back. Here we go. So I'm going to be doing that on the back of each of my pages. There we go. So you can see it moves, and by having that paper there, it's lifting that paper so I can slot it in. I can glue my inside bit, but I'm not going to glue the other bit because I want to put some magnets in. Go. So this now is still loose, and we can glue these on as well. So we're going to do magnet closures this time. So my magnets are 12 mils by 0.5 mil thick. So it's really thin magnets. And I'll need 4 because I'm going to do 4 closures. 2 closures, so I need 4 magnets. So what are the closures I'm using? Well, they're the Brad closures by Cool Katz. Now I've got 3 of them here. There's a circle, an oval, and a pentagon. And each of them has got a matten layer as well. So you can use a extra paper. So I'm just going to grab the main one first. So what you can see is it's got 2 holes there, which you can put your brads through. But I don't use brads. I'll show you why later on. So let's put that to one side. Let's bring our die cutting machine. Now, you can get away with 1, but I'm going to do 2 of these. Which means I'm going to need to cut 4 of my brad closures. 1, 2, 3, and the last one. And let's just place that back. Is this the circle that fits? Looks a bit too big to me to be that one. Yeah, that's exactly the same size, so I need a smaller one than that. Luckily, I've got my perfect circles here. So I think, yeah, there's the circle for me. Oh, I've got 2, so let's grab both. So then what we're going to do with the matten layer circles is cut a piece out of some of our scrap bits. I wonder if we can get the pig and the cockerel, because they might tie them nicely then with our page. Yep. So we've got 1 and 2. I'm just going to cut another 2 to go on the back. So I've cut 4 circles, just a tiny bit smaller than that brad closure. Put them back so I don't lose them. And we can move him out the way. So let's just, got some of my tape. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so let's bring back our page. Oh, we don't need that page, just the page 2. So with our brad closures, of course you could mark there, make some holes and put your brads through. What I tend to do is make faux brad closures. So I take my brad closure, and if you look at it, you've got that score line in between there. I line that up with my paper and do the same at the bottom. Just put some glue over that bit and stick it on. And then I can decorate the fronts now. I did manage to get that pig and the cockerel. And it's on the back of these then, we're going to put our magnets. So I'm just putting some tape, some strong double-sided, and I'm going to place my magnet down. I'll then take my double-sided tape and place it over the top again. Now this has two jobs. One, it's going to stick a bit better when I put the second one on top, but two, it smooths out that harsh edge of the magnet. So when you put your paper and things on top, you won't get such a bulge. There we go. And now I'm going to put a piece on top, sticky side up, and place my magnet on top. Sticky side up, and place my second magnet on top. Take my decorative paper off because I want this to stick onto my cardstock. So now they've been lined up perfectly and they will click on. So again, this tape will act like adhesive, but also smooth out the bumps. So I don't know why I always put some extra tape around it, because I know that's where a lot of the action is going to happen. And then now I can stick my decorative paper over the top. And you can see I didn't flip it this time, I kept the pattern repeat. So the pattern carries on through. And there we have the closure. And we're just going to stick now the second one on top. So I can put the glue all over this time. Oh, didn't want to drop it on that. And just line it up. And I can put one of those decorative pieces there. And again. And I did have another black circle somewhere. Oh, here we go. I was going to say, that's all it is now, is just goes on top of there. Oh, so there was text on that, so there we go. So that then closes like that. Now those holes is where your brad would normally be. And I said I was going to do a faux one, because I cheat and I use some 4mm black pearls. 1, 2. It doesn't even have to be black, whatever colour matches your project. And what I do then is a dab of glue on those 4 holes. And we can put them on top, and it looks like we've put a brad through without actually using any brads. Look at it. So there we go. Our first swivel closure. And now a magnet closure. So I'll tidy some of this bit away and we'll get ready for the third closure. So I'll see you again in the next video.